Let's go, Chief.
Hello again, and welcome to episode 161 of SDGC for Thursday, September 12th. If you're not aware, Super Deformed Gamescast meets right here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we discuss the latest gaming headlines with a wide variety of panel members and guests. We also do a whole bunch of other stuff as time allows, like a separate show about movies and television, community game streaming, a mental health support show, which we will be relaunching soon, and a bi-weekly morning show every other Friday. If you've been along for the ride so far, welcome home. And if not, hey, feel free to stick around and maybe throw us a subscription.
A subsnurb.
Every single podcast is archived the next day on our YouTube channel for those who like to watch. And you can find us on all major podcast services for those who like to listen. And I got to say, I didn't notice that Derek was clean shaven until just this moment.
We talked about it before.
Yeah, we talked about it before you came on.
It's really fun. So Derek, what prompted this? The people need to know.
You got to do it every so often. It's good for the beard. Every so often.
The chat's already going. By the way, this is episode. So I said episode 161. According to Derek, according to our Twitch stream, it's episode 160.
It should be 161. I thought I updated it, but it should be 161. I'll fix it later.
Extravaganza. It still says PAX.
Well, you know what? It's
Damn
Twitch,
it, Derek.
Twitch is sometimes weird about me as an editor managing it from my dashboard. I probably need to just start logging into the SDGC account to change it, but that's a separate thing.
Son of a bitch. Worst fucking producer. I'm just kidding.
You're
the best producer.
Am clean shaven just because it's important every so often to, instead of just keeping it at that right length, to kill it and let it. So I'm babyface for the first time in months.
You're already one of the younger members of this podcast, but now you look like you're in your fucking teens.
Yeah, I look like I shouldn't be allowed to drink. So
I wish, shout out to Reb. I wish Reb was here to see this.
She'll see it, and I'll hear the comments. I'm sure we'll all hear the comments. So
wait a minute. So hey, so like now on Twitch for me it says episode 161. So who fucking knows what happened? I don't fucking know, dude. It's another episode of SDGC. Who gives a shit? How is everybody tonight?
I'm pretty good, man.
I'm good.
I'm pretty good. I got pudding.
You got is that chocolate?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it one of those things where it's kind of like, does it have the vanilla? What's that?
He said it's brown vanilla.
Brown vanilla. Dude, fuck you. I'm tired, man. Okay, I've had a long fucking day. I work 12 hours a day. Lick my butt. You can lick my butt, dude.
I would prefer not to, but I respect the hustle.
Trevor Starkey, our friend in chat, says my coworkers definitely think I'm interviewing for other jobs because I shaved before PAX.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get those comments tomorrow at work.
Yeah, no, you absolutely will. and when Trevor, like when Trevor shaved and cut his hair, it was really weird because I've always known him as like, hey, Trevor's my friend and he looks like the Big Lebowski. But now he's all clean cut and professional looking, and I don't really know how to handle it. One thing I want to try to do tonight is engage with the chat more. So everybody in chat, if you want to comment, ask some questions, go ahead. I want to talk with you guys more, and kind of get more involved with you. I like seeing the chat so full this early though. This is good. Everybody go to Twitter, tweet this episode out. We're trying to build our audience. Why are you pointing, Derek?
I'm pointing at the chat.
Oh, he's pointing at the chat. Okay. Get on Twitter. Get your asses on Twitter. Tweet this shit out. Tell people to come here. Talk about how fucking awesome we are. Talk about how fucking clean shaven and pure Derek is. Do what you got to do to get people in here to join us tonight.
That'll get people to listen to our show. Just tell,
just be like, hey, one of them shaved. Now go listen to it.
And then he's eating brown vanilla pudding.
Give absolutely no context for that. Just say he's totally shaven. And then
and you can hear it.
You can actually feel the power of his smooth skin.
You can see how ruby red his lips are compared to how pasty his skin is.
Derek, I will say you are looking well moisturized and scrubbed though, sir. So well done.
I'm feeling very fresh today.
Well done. Derek gave me some excellent moisturizing tips at PAX, and I have continued to Derek, I know I took your advice and I feel like a much fresher, smoother individual now.
It's oddly important when you're bald and people don't realize that. But like this.
Oh no, dude, my head would get all fucking dry and shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it doesn't have the hair to protect it anymore. So, but anyway,
guys, video games.
Yeah.
How about those fucking video games, huh?
They're
video
fucking
games
good.
Else. And are they as good as that? Are they as good as that pudding though, Derek?
Sometimes better. Sometimes better.
Listen, mommy's pudding right before bed is
Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that again. This isn't the quiet
Mother,
man, my friend.
please give me some pudding, mother.
This is not the quiet man. Okay.
Mommy, I want pudding.
But, don't ever say that again. Jesus. And especially not that voice.
May I have some
All right.
May I have some pudding?
May I have some more pudding, mother?
I need some video games
All
and
right,
some
God
pudding.
damn it, fucking enough. Now you got me doing it.
Oh boy, please let me have
Stop
some
it,
pudding.
Jesus Christ, you creepy fucks. Okay, this is what happens when Reb or Zach aren't here to fucking keep us under control. All right, we're gonna start off with the NPDs, and of course, thank you to our good friend Matt Piscatello for always doing such a good job of letting us know how the industry is doing. I know some people may be wondering where Matt has been. He's been super busy recently, but he will be back to talk the NPD with us very soon. But we'll go ahead and kick it off. So the top selling games for August, and this is according to Matt himself in the press release from the NPD group. At number one, Madden NFL 20.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
The August bestseller in the United States is Madden.
Unbelievable. Minecraft at number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 3. The fucking game that wouldn't die.
It never dies, ever.
It's bothersome to me that's at number 3, though. That means that everything else did really bad.
It's just the way life is these days. You just have to accept that GTA 5 has transcended generations.
I'm curious as if GTA 5 has sold more copies than Red Dead Redemption 2 has since Red Dead Redemption 2 released.
I honestly think
it's probably close.
Probably, yeah. I would imagine that. And by the way, I will be gifting somebody, one lucky individual in chat, a sub today. So who's it going to be? I don't fucking know, but you'll have to stick around and find out to see if it's you. Next at number 4 is Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which warms my dark shadow-filled heart because that's a fucking great game. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Super Mario Maker 2, which has some decent legs. Mario Kart 8, which is kind of just one of those games that will never stop fucking selling until Mario Kart 9 comes out. Mortal Kombat 11, which has been doing Mortal Kombat this year is just
top selling game of the year of the whole year.
Unbelievable, dude. Like I know Mortal Kombat is popular, but I could not have seen
people were writing that off. I remember quite a few times where I was getting kind of cackled at a little bit, including in the DMs, that Mortal Kombat was going to be as big a deal as it was, and
we all kind of laughed at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was one of those.
I'm calling Zach out because Zach was like, this is no world for Mortal Kombat anymore. And I was like,
Zach was so sure.
Yeah.
That too. Like,
I knew it was going to be big. Yeah.
I knew it was going to be big.
Okay,
It's the past couple have done really big numbers, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, not like on the level of being the top selling game of the year though. Like obviously, like with shit like Call of Duty coming out, that's not going to last. But still, the fact that it's still at the top, like in a year where we've got the Division 2 and shit, is really impressive.
Yeah.
And rounding out the top 10, we have Rainbow Six Siege, which kind of surprised me. And the real surprise,
Siege also just passed 50 million players.
Unbelievable. Yeah, like dude, like
that game had such a rocky launch. Like I played it a few months after launch. After there was some patches, like it was like right when it was starting the upswing when I played it. And I'm like, oh, this is good, but I never thought it would have this huge audience. And then a couple years later, it's just exploded. Like the support for that game and like the real community that has grown around it is really cool to see.
Well, and
it's really impressive.
Of course, like when you look at games like Rainbow Six Siege and also like For Honor, like they are just like Ubisoft is becoming really skilled at turning their online games around. And
kind of quietly too. Like
there's no fanfare behind it.
Yeah. It's not like they're like, hey, here's the big update that'll fix everything. It's just they slowly continue at it.
They just keep working at it till it's good again, and then they go further. I mean,
Brandon, you sounded like you wanted to cut in there for a minute.
No, I just agree.
Okay, cool. And then rounding out the top 10, Astral Chain, which is fucking great. So like this is not something you generally see from Platinum games. They generally they sell fine, but not enough to usually make it into the top 10 seller for the month. And granted,
Switch.
Yeah, Switch boost.
But this one is on the Switch.
Yeah, right. So it's that Switch boost, and also, dude, Astral Chain is just a fucking good video game. Like it's it is.
So was Bayonetta 2, and that didn't sell shit.
It didn't, but again, like the dude, like you said, the fucking Switch boost. I mean, shit just sells on the Switch, man. It's wild, dude. And hey, Glorious War in chat. What's up, man? We have not. I haven't seen. There has not been a platinum game that I have enjoyed as much as Astral Chain in a very long time. Like I like it better than Bayonetta 2, and I really enjoy Bayonetta 2.
I think it's worth mentioning that Astral Chain charted despite being no digital copies because Nintendo does not report digital sales, and B, massive stock constraints.
Well, it was also it only charted, like it was only counted for 2 days.
Yeah, so 2 days, massive stock restraints. No digital counted. I mean, for it to be at number 10 is really impressive, because you have to figure that Platinum Games is used to not exactly blowing out AAA budgets on these games. Right. They're really masters of making do with relatively little. So I'm sure they're very pleased with its performance, and it's only going to keep going. So
there is one game that is missing from here, much to Justin's chagrin, I know, and that is Control. If you round out and hold on, I'm going to pull the list back up here. If you round out the top 20, Control is not there at all.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a game that would sell.
And
sorry, that was my cat. That was my cat. Don't worry about it.
That startled the fucking shit out of me.
He launched himself out into a bowl.
So I'm looking at this Super Mario Party's on there. New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is on there. Man of Medan made. Is it Medan or Medan? What the fuck is that? How do you pronounce that?
Medan.
Is it Medan? Man of Medan? Man of Medan.
Man of Medan.
Man of Medan. Man of Medan is number. That's the only way I'm going to be able to hear that now. That's number 19, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey is number 20, but no Control. And it was mentioned in I think it was I can't remember who said it in the official SDGC DM, but somebody said, well, it sounds like based on Remedy's internal projections, they're happy with it. And I'm like, my counterpoint is, yeah, but I mean, their games traditionally don't sell great. So
Control is kind of an interesting thing because Remedy has talked a few times about how it's one of their lowest budget projects that they have done. They're kind of divided up into 3 teams right now, which they haven't done before. Usually it's been the whole studio working on one thing. And the turnaround on Control was 3 years, where traditionally they've been 4 to 5 years. So smaller team, smaller budget. So that may have helped it a little bit. And also there are reports that second week was stronger for Control than first week, which doesn't happen very often, which shows, word of mouth probably helped it. And digital is not counted for NPD for Control.
So that's true, but I will say this. I want to point out what our friend Sam Tolbert in chat said. Sam, who's killing, by the way, over at Windows Central. He says, for context, Quantum Break charted at number 7 in April 2016 without digital and will probably have better lifetime sales.
I don't think so. I think Control's like the type of game that'll sell well in the long term. Like Quantum Break is one of those games that, there had been like a pretty big drought of Xbox One software at that point. A lot of people probably jumped on it. And then, but I think, especially with some of the expansions and some of the talk around them, coming out in the next year, good word of mouth, possibly, some Game of the Year talk and stuff. I think Control will probably do well in the long term. Well, I could talk about this game forever. I think Maddie and I are going to try to get a review recorded and out sometime early next week.
I'd love to. I would love for you guys to do that.
So we're going to talk more in depth about Control because personally, it's one of my favorite games of this generation, and it is currently far and away my Game of the Year. I think in the lead for Game of the Year for me.
I think the other thing about Control is, and again, this is a conversation. I want to see what Derek and Brandon have to say about this. The game just, in my opinion, wasn't marketed very well.
I saw next to no marketing for it, which double-edged sword, right? A lot of the biggest marketing.
I don't know the main character's name.
Yeah, me neither.
There was a lot of PlayStation blog stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't see ads.
I'm not saying that means good marketing, but that's like the only place that I really saw pushing it. Like, I swear, like the PlayStation account with their marketing deal did more than like 505 probably did in terms of marketing.
100%.
It was out before I realized it was out. You know, I didn't realize it was out until people were talking about playing it. And I was like, holy shit, I can just, I don't know.
Dude, well, like I was at PAX. Like, dude, we were at PAX together. And do you remember I was all excited about Astral Chain coming out on Friday? I was like, fuck yeah, Astral Chain. And then somebody says, don't forget Control's coming out next Tuesday. And I was like, no shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I had
Control
no
was out
clue.
when you guys were at PAX.
It was out?
I was playing it while you guys were at PAX. Yeah.
Maybe it was the weekend before, but dude, like,
it was the Tuesday before you guys went to PAX.
That's the thing. I had no fucking idea. I had no idea.
It was wild. But I mean, everyone who's played it seems to have loved it. I mean, performance issues aside. So I do wonder if it will, over the long term, maybe it'll be maybe like an Evil Within kind of situation where the initial sales are like really disheartening, but over time it builds up enough that it's pretty appreciable.
I'm hoping that too. And I also think with the roadmap they just put out, they also have already released the first of their performance patches, and they've said that more are coming. That should help even more, which is good because I know a lot of people are probably waiting for some of those. And then I think a very large percentage of people that played and finished that game are going to buy the expansions.
Yeah. Quick congratulations to Blair Anderson in chat, who has
Blaine.
What's that? Blair? Oh, Blaine. What did I say? Blair? Did I say Blair?
Yeah.
Did I say Blair?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I know it's Blaine, and I said Blair. That's fucking weird. Blaine Anderson in chat, who has been watching us for a very long time, is the recipient of a tier 1 sub. So enjoy it. Spam that fucking Saki emoji. Let us know that you got it. And so anyway, there's a few more NPD notes that I think we need to cover. One, the fact that August of 2019, just last month, was one of the slowest months for software sales in the industry since 1998. Software sales were 257 million, which is a huge drop compared to last year, which was 341 million. The best part is that sales for the month overall were 666 million. With hardware,
that Doom Eternal should have launched that month.
I really should have. Yeah, that would have been fucking perfect. Looking at overall sales compared to last year, software sales are actually about the same as they were in 2018. And Matt says that this is due to the Nintendo Switch, which is also carrying water on the hardware side as well. So like, I took a look at, I was looking through Twitter, and a lot of people were saying, oh, well, it's doom and gloom for the industry. Like every time this happens, you guys know the cycle. The video games are dying. It's but it's we're nearing the end of a console generation. It was a super slow month, except for the Switch.
Sandwiched between huge months. I mean, July had some big games.
Yeah,
like Fire Emblem destroyed in July. And
then there's a fucking deluge of games coming this fall.
Yeah, the next 2 months are brutal. So
there's already been a ton of releases in just the first 2 weeks of September. So like a lot of the big games for August came out that last week. So it might have just been the point where people are just deciding what they can spend money on.
Yeah. Well, and also, Matt was saying on Twitter that he fully expects this fall to be huge, especially September, October, November, because there's just a fucking shit. Like as much as I'm shitting on Borderlands 3 for various reasons right now, like it's going to sell. It's going to fucking sell millions and millions of copies.
Oh, it's gonna be huge.
It's going to be fucking ridiculous. The Shadowkeep, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep is going to be huge. Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to be huge. Link's Awakening is going to be huge. Like, it's going to be a very profitable. The Switch Lite, I guarantee you, is going to fly off fucking shelves. It's going to be a very profitable fall and holiday season for the games industry.
Switch Lite and Pokemon are going to be an insane combination.
It's gonna for all of the goofy online like kerfuffle over the Pokedex and stuff like that. No, I am standing by what I said this time last year, which is nobody is prepared for the smoking crater Pokemon is going to leave in the ground when it's done. Yeah. Like, it's going to be insane.
Well, and that's my thing is like when everybody was all up in arms about the national decks, I was like, okay, like I sort of understand it, but at the same time, when people say, "Oh, I'm boycotting it," no, you're not. Come on, like
No.
you don't have to fucking try that hard to bullshit me. Like you're gonna go buy it, and I wasn't thrilled about it, and I'm fucking day one, so it's good. And Justin is 100% right with the combination of the Switch Lite and Pokemon. I mean, Switch is gonna. I
Like,
personally, Switch is gonna
Switch-
take every single month the rest of the year.
Oh, I unless there's like a crazy like low price
shortage
PS4.
or which is possible. I mean, we're at the end of a generation, man. I
Which
mean,
is
they're gonna want to
like
get
it
those
could be
surplus
like
consoles
Sony.
off the shelves.
Yeah, it could be Sony decides like to go wild Black Friday or something. But
We'll pay you $100 to take a PS4, please. We don't want to sit on any of these when the 5 hits.
Yeah. But yeah, unless
especially because there's both the Pro and the base.
Yeah.
Like unless something like that happens, yeah, I think Switch will easily take the rest of the year. Like I'm pretty sure the Switch Lite and Pokemon is going to be one of the biggest gifts for like younger players this year.
And as far as, and I do want to mention top selling games for the year. I just had it up on Matt's Twitter page. He's got, see, the problem with Matt being so thorough is he breaks everything down.
Yeah.
And it's so okay. Here it is. So the top 10 best selling games year to date. Right now, we'll just quickly go through 1 to 10. Starting at we'll start at number 10. So you got Days Gone, which is kind of surprising to me. You like, Justin, I know you liked it, but it was kind of received lukewarmly, I guess.
I mean, it was a game that I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I was going to. It definitely has some noticeable flaws, but it feels like a really good base for building on with a sequel.
We'll get a sequel, absolutely.
I think, and I was also kind of rooting for Sony Bend because they just got expanded recently.
Yeah.
But they said they were in line for another expansion, including a mocap studio and stuff, if Days Gone did well. So a full sequel for Days Gone on PS5 with a bigger studio, because like I think they said most of this development was done when they were like 80 people or something. Yeah. I think that bodes well for the future of that as a series. I think it'll be something that'll do well in the future, but it's a solid game. But I mean, it had Sony marketing behind it, open world zombie game, and I think that was always going to be kind of a safe market thing. So yeah, I'm not too surprised that it did well. And also the support has been pretty good. They've added a ton of challenge mode things. I think they're adding New Game Plus tomorrow. Like Bend has been really committed to adding stuff to that game for free, which is cool.
That's
and
cool.
yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Number 9, I want to move up the list real quick. Red Dead Redemption 2, 8, Grand Theft Auto 5, number 7, Resident Evil 2, which makes me really happy because that is a front runner for Game of the Year for me. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, at number 5, Anthem, which is just a whole other story in and of itself.
I mean, all those Anthem sales were probably launch month.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, which honestly like says a lot for launch month, if nothing else. The Division 2 at number 4, Madden NFL 20 at number 3, Kingdom Hearts 3 at number 2, which is really fucking impressive, and Mortal Kombat 11 at number 1. It won't stay that way, but the game came out in April, May. So holding on, that's pretty impressive. So yeah, that's the NPD roundup for this month. Sorry, I probably didn't do it as good as Matt Pescatella does it, but we are hoping to have him
probably
back on.
didn't do it as good as the guy whose profession is to do it.
I know I didn't do it as good as I'm trying to boost my ego a little bit. I'm trying to give myself a little boost. So we have other things to talk about tonight other than the NPD, and we will move right along. And I think next we should tackle Death Stranding, because we finally know a little bit more about what this game actually entails, and I'm talking gameplay. I still couldn't tell you what the fuck the game is actually about. But who here has watched, and this goes for everybody in chat as well, who here has watched the 49-minute video chronicling all of the characters in Death Stranding?
Nope. I trust Kojima, John.
I actually watched it.
I read like a summary because I kind of want to go. I want to go in fresh to actually seeing stuff in action, gameplay wise. I just read somebody did like a really nice like text summary of it, so I read that.
Derek, what about you?
No, I don't. It's almost an inverse Brandon in this case. Like I know Kojima's tricks so well that I believe even a 50-minute video would potentially lie to me. So
so as far as I can tell, and I've got like a breakdown of the gameplay, and like there was gameplay. We've seen actual like shooty bang stuff now.
So there's also another 30 minutes of gameplay coming this weekend. That is focusing on the death mechanics, which are apparently supposed to be very unique. That. Which, if there's a 30-minute video dedicated to what happens when you die, I imagine it's going to be pretty different from what we're used to.
Cool. So I've got a timeline here from IGN, and I am going to go ahead and follow that as a guide because there's a lot to kind of break down. Oh, and I might as well say that as long as I'm on IGN, pretty soon you'll be able to read my first article for IGN about Call of Duty. So that will be my first article for IGN. Will be publishing very, very soon. So please, as Square Enix would say, look forward to more on that in the future. So let me pull up the old.
You mean please be excited?
Please be excited. Please be excited for more information to come.
Please clap.
So Sam, Norman Reedus' character's name is Sam, and he's a delivery man.
Sam Porter Bridges, delivery man.
He also works for a company named Bridges.
Sam Porter Bridges. Is that Porter Bridges? Is that what you said? His name is Porter Bridges.
His middle name is Porter.
Oh, the middle name is Porter. It's not like Porter and then dash and then Bridges. No. Okay, that would be better.
Sam Porter Bridges. I don't like that name.
I mean, it's the closest thing to a real name anybody has in this game.
Well, so he is trying to help the United States, which I guess is like really fractured and broken up, by convincing all these independent cities to join the Chiral network, which is going to be used to tie the country back together. And it's going to be done by helping people out with like Facebook style thumbs up likes for actions. And so I actually watched the gameplay stuff, and I still so apparently there is a mechanic for choosing whether or not you want to use the bathroom standing up or sitting down. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
So
I don't know what's meaningful, but sure.
So do I have the option to take a piss or take a shit? Like can I choose? Like I'd rather take a dump right now. So I'm gonna hit B. Is that how this works? I don't feel like they really explain that.
Why do you need to pee and make mushrooms grow?
If you think about it, Derek, taking a dump would be more effective for making a mushroom.
Don't ask questions of Kojima. You're not going to get good answers. You just accept what you're given at face value.
Logic. It makes more sense.
There is none. You're in the wrong place.
You have to look at this from a biological standpoint. It makes more sense for manure to fertilize a mushroom.
We're not doing this right now.
This is a conversation.
Let's go on to the actual other stuff.
Man, whatever. I'm trying to talk about the important issues. Man, you fuckers. So Sam has a loadout consisting of boots, cargo harness, and a bungee-like cord weapon called a strand, which is Death Stranding, I guess. Then you start the demo in Capital Knot City Distribution Center. And the delivery terminal menu UI includes weight management, stamina, boot sturdiness, a measurement of Sam's blood, BB's happiness, and a count of Facebook style likes. BB is the baby, right?
Yes.
So you have to keep the baby happy. That's what you're telling. You have to look after the happiness of the baby in a jar.
Yes.
How do you do that?
I believe you can sing to it.
You can
sing. They showed footage of it. Yeah, he can sing to it and he can hold it and kind of play with it, and it'll go after your hands and stuff. I don't know. It's cute.
Can you imagine playing this and your wife, your girlfriend, or your significant other walks in and they're like, "What?"
I've played way more embarrassing shit than that. So
I mean, see, hey. I think there's probably worse things than seeing a gruff man playing with a happy with a baby to make it happier. Like
Is the baby in a tube?
That baby is in a portable incubator unit that looks like something out of the Matrix. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. You can 3D print new items in 4 different categories: equipment, clothing, weapons, and vehicles, which is pretty cool. You can make grenades, which apparently you can use, or you can like fill the grenades with your body fluid and throw them.
I don't like this. No.
So, Derek, you haven't heard about the body fluid grenades?
No.
No, Derek. It's not what you're thinking. It's like basically.
I don't even know what I'm thinking. There's too many options, and all of them are bad.
It's his shower water.
Yeah, it's gamer bath water. I wonder if you can actually take it to a shop and sell it for currency. Kojima, please let us do that. That's a reason to buy this game right there. I love just like talking about Death Stranding and explaining this shit is so like awkward and weird. Like I still feel strange talking about all the crazy gameplay mechanics and fucking oh god. So the game is apparently broken up into episodes. I don't think they answered whether or not this is actually is this an open world game?
Yes.
What does open world mean? He's invented a whole new way to traverse.
That's my thing, right?
Like, it sounds like it's an actual like scaled down United States. You're moving from the East Coast to the West Coast. So, like, I think it's an open world in the sense that it is one large continuous space, but I think you are constantly moving westward.
John, you know MapQuest? MapQuest ain't shit. Death Stranding.
So I'm going to be thinking about that tomorrow on my commute. So we also need to point out, I almost forgot. So Monster Energy is in the game. You can a level 1 canteen can hold 1,000 milliliters of Monster Energy.
How are you going to piss all the time if you're not drinking all that caffeine?
Well, like, and plus, like, I get the sense that Sam's bladder is like the size of a pea, so like there's going to be a lot of urinating on things in this game. All water, and this is fucking wild. All water that comes into contact with the canteen is transformed into Monster.
What?
Yes.
Monster?
Like Monster Energy. Like the actual energy drink.
This is funny because my plan for the weekend that this game released was to just cut myself off with an actual case of Monster and then just plow through it.
That would be so fucking meta.
And the fact that Monster is actually in the game is so goddamn funny.
So, apparently we have friends in chat who are not aware of this. No, guys, listen up. Not only is Monster Energy in the game, like I'm talking like the most blatant advertising, like product placement shit you've ever seen.
Cup noodle ass shit.
When when you put water into the canteen, it is automatically converted into Monster Energy drink. Nobody fucking hydrates in the world of Death Stranding. There is no hydration. There is only caffeine.
There's no water. Energy. There's only Brondo.
What I want to know
is this is similar to what he did with Metal Gear Solid 3, like as well. There was a lot of product placement in Metal Gear Solid 3. There was like 5-hour energies. There were like a bunch of like real.
Let's not forget the calorie mates in Metal Gear Solid.
Calorie mates. Yes, no, product placement in Kojima games is not a new thing.
But like this is a whole other level. Like this is literally making it part of the gameplay.
I mean, I'm guessing all the merchandising and sponsorships and stuff was part of how they funded this game.
I mean, I'm sure, but I mean, this is all. I've never seen anything like this in a game before. And my question is what is BB floating in that container? Is that like
absolutely Monster?
Is that Monster Energy that BB is floating in?
It's a very signature yellowy green sickly colored fluid that's very bubbly. It must be that baby is floating in Monster. That's the only way it'll have the energy it needs to grow in that desolate landscape.
Absolutely. No,
it has what babies crave.
Right. You know that fucking baby's floating around in an energy drink. You fucking know it, dude.
Yeah.
God, this fucking game.
This fucking game, dude.
I'm actually looking at a video of the gameplay right now, and this is so fucking strange. Like you can find cargo, and there's a line in the world that shows the edges of the chiral network's current coverage. So your job by getting these likes, I guess, like these Facebook likes, for lack of a better term, is to expand
the influence.
Yeah, you have to like expand your sphere of influence and all that shit. And so stepping outside, like you can walk outside of the network, but it removes, I guess, all your map help for the nearby terrain. So once you walk out of the network, you're kind of like flying blind.
And it sounds like your weapons might not work and stuff outside the network.
You can ruin your footwear, like your boots can actually wear out, affecting balance and stamina, but can also be ruined beyond repair. And there's actually a fucking shoe meter to track the wear and tear on your.
Like the thing that's kind of interesting is like people have kind of used the like walking simulator derisively. Like this actually seems like a walking simulator.
Like an
you're actually simulating hiking. Like
no. So it gets better, right? So when you rest, it saves the game. Yeah, it lets you soothe BB, sleep. You can put on new boots, or you can massage yourself. And literally massage, like I can see Derek's just rubbing his head. He's like, okay.
No, we got me at the last part. Continue.
No, but here's the thing: massaging yourself doesn't do anything to your actual status.
Right, because most people are shitty at the concept of massages. So.
Yeah, and you can also equip a harmonica. And if you equip your harmonica and you use the touchpad, like that's how you play the harmonica. It's the touchpad on the PS4 controller.
That's
the music
awesome.
will soothe BB, and he'll dance, and you'll get likes.
I love it. This sounds great.
He'll fucking dance around in his little Monster Energy drink can.
Did Kojima just discover the dancing baby gif from what was it, fucking Ally McBeal or whatever it was?
That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. There's also
he got let out of the Konami dungeon for a few minutes. That was the first thing he saw, and then he wrote this game.
He's been forcibly self-enforced off the internet since Metal Gear Solid 2. Like he won't allow himself.
So there's like cargo you can pick up, right? Like entrust cargo for delivery. There's other players' cargo that you can pick up. There's a cargo called sperm and eggs. Kojima,
isn't that
Kojima gonna Kojima?
I mean that's like kind of a typical apocalyptic sci-fi thing, right? To have like stored genetic material to be able to like.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of apocalyptic movies, and I don't remember anybody saying we got to get the sperm.
Nobody remember that section in The Road where Viggo Mortensen had to pick up the big old jar of jizz and take it to the next stop.
We're not going to be able to repopulate the Earth. This stuff has an expiration date. We got to get it in cold storage. Here's the best
mix
part
it up
about
with the yogurt.
Getting these, so like getting a cargo container, whether it's sperm or eggs or whatever it is. So like you stand on it and it turns into a hoverboard. And then you just kind of skate the cargo.
Like a hoverboard or like.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the video right now.
Cursed with wheel feet.
No, straight up a hoverboard.
No, it's a hoverboard, and you're like pushing it with your foot. And
okay.
Everything. Yeah, you're weaving around rocks. He's going down a hill. And so the Strand also, by the way, is a non-lethal melee weapon. You can tie up unaware enemies and parry attacks, and incapacitate guards and stuff. Let's see. There's stealth. Which this is a Kojima game, so that really shouldn't surprise anybody. And like, there's a lot. I'm kind of skimming over the really interesting stuff.
I mean, there are enemy bases and stuff. Like
there are
from like the the terrorist groups that are coming on, and then it also
there's boss fights and shit.
Yeah, like
there's video game stuff in there.
There's monsters and stuff too that you encounter, and I imagine I'm gonna guess that as you go further westward, things get crazier and more dangerous.
I do need to clarify something, not just for Justin, but for everybody in chat. So the grenades, they're called X grenades, and it's not shower water, Justin. It's condensed body fluids collected from the shower.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So I'm thinking about the kind of grenades that you would get from like body fluids in the shower.
It's booty sweat grenades. Let's call it what it is.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, anyway.
Norman Reedus absolutely pees in the shower.
He could also use blood-based hematic grenades, which are powered by either collectible blood bags or Sam's own blood. So, like,
I mean, that's probably like bait for the monsters and stuff, right?
No. They're actual grenades that you attack with biology-based weapons. Like they're grenades, they're weapons. You like that's you like bleed into a grenade and you throw it but they're all non-lethal. So like honestly, I feel like his grenades are designed to just fucking get people to vomit all over themselves.
Well, I mean, most of the enemies are also wearing like biohazard suits and stuff, so it would make sense that you would probably be trying to, bacteria or something, that would cause like a hazardous material warning.
God, this game is going to be so fucking weird. There's a bunch of licensed songs in the game, apparently. Asylums for the Feeling featuring Layla Adu by Silent Poets plays when you're walking towards Port Knot City. Like, there's a lot of licensed shit in this.
It's not apocalyptic fiction, excuse me, if I can't walk around throwing my bathwater grenades at people to the tune of fucking Ordinary World by Duran Duran, right? Like,
I mean, what more do you want, Derek?
I want to be able to skate down a mountain on a box full of sperm and eggs while listening to Rio Grande. Like that's what or like Toto. I want to listen to some fucking Land Down Under while I'm dancing with BB.
Men at work? No, you're not going to get that.
Also, here, sleeping in city rest areas fully restores all your stats. So you can use a shower, and Sam has offered the option of using the toilet either standing or sitting. So you can pick. So I'm assuming
okay, if that dude has to walk that much, there is no way he's standing to go to the bathroom.
My ass would sit down. I would be tired.
Yeah, just get a break.
Who cares? Just like sit down and pee. It's not a big deal. Is there anything else? I'm looking for the really weird shit. We've hit some pretty weird shit in this fucking game.
Here's the thing. Everything I have read, and it's weird, and I know I'm probably the only person that thinks this, like, just knowing like what Kojima's influences are, and from what I think he's going, like, none of this seems too out there. I mean, obviously individual elements are really weird.
This seems completely fucking out there. There's a shoe meter.
I mean, I guessed that last year when there was a trailer that showed him, getting pulling stuff out of his toe. Like
I don't know, man. Like who fucking knows, dude? I don't
know. It's just kind of frustrating because like I am looking forward to this, and I do have some things I'm concerned about and some things I'm not.
I don't know if I am or not, to be honest with you.
And that's totally fair. But it's really kind of frustrating because like there's this whole real big like a lot of people saying stuff like, "Oh, you're just getting conned if you're into this." I'm like, it sounds interesting. I want to see where it goes, and I want to see how it pans out. And I'm not totally certain it's going to be successful, but I think it's interesting. And like, I don't know, just the whole "it's so weird" thing is kind of, it just gets annoying. Like it's just over and over again. I kind of want to just see how it unfolds.
Like I'm cynical as hell, but I'm not saying anybody has to feel the way that I feel. Like if people can bring themselves to be excited and interested in this, like I feel like I've been burned so bad by Kojima the last couple times, but that's totally. But that's fair. The thing is, like, we're all going to come at this from different perspectives, know. So,
and that's totally fair. Like,
I'm not trying to rain bathwater on anybody else's parade.
I've also like, I'm not talking about you guys.
Well, yeah.
I obviously like.
Derek's like, look, I'm sorry to burst your sperm and eggs bubble, okay, but
like, I've seen some people that are like super angry that it doesn't seem like this game's going to be something that they enjoy, and it's like
because people
you don't have to buy it.
People wanted fucking Metal Gear. People wanted Metal Gear, and they're not getting Metal Gear from Kojima, and that's why people are upset.
It's been pretty clear for a while we weren't getting Metal Gear with this.
Sure,
one.
but people have trouble letting go. I think. What was that, Derek?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said something.
Yeah, he said literally nothing.
Oh, I thought he did. So like, I don't want to linger on Death Stranding for too much longer. What I will say is, I will be very curious to see how this game performs at the register. Because
it's gonna be huge.
Sales wise, I think it'll do well. Just
do you think so, Brandon?
It's got that Norman Reedus boost.
What the hell was that noise?
What in the world?
that was some dogs.
Oh god.
Are those Derek's
hounds
dogs?
Hell. Yeah, can you put the hounds back?
Holy shit, dude! Fucking Resident Evil hellhounds.
Get back there and chain Cerberus back up.
Oh my god! Yes, Cerberus in the fucking back there. Jesus, Derek. Derek, are you sure they're not mauling a small animal?
They're getting dragged around by a rubber ring that they won't let go of.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Okay, all right. That is
Death Stranding, folks.
That really sums up the whole Death Stranding conversation right there. I like I said, I don't want to strand, or I don't want to strand too long. I don't want to spend.
That's a good Kojimian slip.
God, Kojima's in my fucking head now, man. I can't do this anymore.
Slip is now a term, by the way.
I want by the way, I want to.
Is that when you're ashamed of your words and deeds?
Yes.
Yeah. I hey, real quick before I forget, I want to thank Waypoint for the sub. Thanks, we really appreciate that. Derek, you wanted to talk about Iceborne.
Yeah. So on Friday, just about a week ago, Monster Hunter World Iceborne hit. Monster Hunter World, if you lived under a rock, was up Game of the Year contender on like every list last year. It was one of the biggest games of last year, period. Iceborne,
Capcom's best-selling game ever.
Iceborne is the equivalent of what the G rank expansion. So for the last couple of entries in the US, we basically haven't gotten a game until it's been the big expanded G rank version. And traditionally in Japan, it's two separate things. So what it is like, okay, here's your finished game, and then so far down the road, they do this big expansion. It's a whole new difficulty rank. Every existing monster gets remixed some for this new higher difficulty level. There's a whole shitload of new content, whole shitload of new monsters. With Monster Hunter World having a bit of a more heavier focus on like having story elements included into the game, has like an actual new like plot going on. Iceborne's fucking huge, y'all. I mean, I don't need to tell y'all.
So Sam in chat said it's bigger than the base game. Is that accurate?
Everything I have heard is that the actual story is a little bit shorter than the story of the main game. Although for an expansion to almost double the length with the story mode, says something.
That doesn't really speak to like overall content, though.
No, that's true. Now, overall content, there's 2 new areas. One of which at least is significantly larger than any of the environments in the game before. Like I said, every monster in the game is remixed. Even the little fuckers that you don't normally fight that often, because by the time you get in, the weapons and the armor based on them aren't that, like, your kind of lower tier monsters
the ones that are just kind of like hanging around.
Yeah, every one of them is completely remixed up and has new tricks up their sleeves on top of all these new monsters. And the thing is, like, every single new monster pretty much added to Iceborne is an all-time favorite. This is not like, normally what you've got to do is you've got to have some jobbers in the cast, right? You got to have a couple of sad iguanas and raptors that
those monsters that exist solely for you to slaughter them, to
be the weakest thing in any given environment, sure. Right? Instead, Iceborne,
circle of life, Derek.
Yeah, exactly. Iceborne gives you kind of like one of those, but kind of 2 of those, but otherwise it's just like, hey, this is the flagship for some previous game or one of the biggest monsters from some game or another, and it's just like hit after hit after hit after hit with some of the biggest and most complex monsters in the series, tremendously remixed for the kind of bigger, more open, more environmental interaction style of Monster Hunter World.
And that's really cool, right? Because like, one thing I heard from a lot of longtime fans is that they were kind of disappointed with the lineup, and also kind of this is about the base game of World.
Yeah.
They were kind of disappointed with the lineup, and also like because the way that monsters are built in in Monster Hunter is like they're all kind of based on skeleton, like this base skeleton.
They're very similar, like skeletons. So you only get a couple of real, a couple of real skeletons. And don't get me wrong, there's a ton of actual variety in the fights, but what you end up with is a lot of very similar looking monsters in their build.
But it seems like they've really tried to spread out from that with Iceborne, so that and they've worked on getting a lot of fan favorites and a lot of ones that it seems like, hey, now that this is in, they can add a whole bunch of others.
Hey, real quick, just a shout out to our friend Nintendon in chat, throwing out those subs again. Holy shit, Don! Fucking.
Yeah,
Don, sorry, I don't know.
Don is a fucking G. Don is a fucking G. Real quick, I have a message from Reb.
You do?
I do. Oh. Real quick. So
Reb is on vacation right now. So
she's on vacation. I texted her. I texted her to tell her that Derek was clean shaven. And
came sooner than we thought, folks.
She is demanding pictures.
Well, it's going to be on the stream, so
it is
archived for all to view. And
now everyone can see that I look like a teenager with 5 o'clock shadow.
You look so young and pure. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's good. It's good. But yeah, Iceborne is also like every major complaint I had about Monster Hunter World, which, you know, there were issues. I don't think the hub area was well designed. Things were too spread out. It took too long to get to everything. The new town is very condensed, and it's very easy to get to anything from anywhere else because it's very tightly packed in. So you're not wasting a bunch of time traveling this like 3-floor sprawling built into a forest camp. The variety you get right from the beginning, which you like, there are people who've been playing Monster Hunter World and they've been doing the like post-game content of grinding like tempered monsters and arch-tempered monsters, and it's just like harder and harder versions of the same things over and over again, and getting the stuff that, like, you know, breaks the armor limit, and it doesn't matter because you don't have to have done any of that in order to jump directly into Iceborne and immediately start crafting like new armor and new equipment that's just better than anything you could have had, no matter how much you ground the game out. So the nice thing is it's rewarding people who didn't stick around for that repetitive post-game stuff in Monster Hunter World. Like if you beat the final boss and you pieced out, that's okay. You can jump directly to Iceborne. It's not going to be too hard. You know, I don't want to say it wastes the time of all the people because the people who put that time into the post-game, into doing tempered and arch-tempered monsters and stuff, like their stuff's not really worth it in the new master rank quests, but like they got enjoyment out of doing it. So I have a question. Yeah.
So I tried Monster Hunter World last year. I played it with Zach for a little while. I think Nintendo on a chat. Thank you for saying that, man. We appreciate that, Don. I tried it with Zach, and I think I played it with Sam too. Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Sam was there too. Might have been somebody else. But I know I played it with Zach. It wasn't my thing, so I dropped it.
Yeah.
And you know, that's fine. But with Monster Hunter World being the highest selling Capcom game ever, and Iceborne, according to what I've seen, being universally praised by reviewers and everybody who's played it, is this now one? Because like until last year, like Monster Hunter was huge in Japan, but kind of niche here.
It really hasn't been niche in the US. The problem is that it's been confined to the 3DS. And I mean, it's sold very well on the 3DS here, but the 3DS has always been like a very specific large, right? Like this 3DS was a big thing here in the US. Sure, but it's a very specific corner of gaming.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, and so what Sam says is kind of what I'm getting at, right? Like it hasn't had a chance to shine on consoles.
And also, I think the timing of World and the quality of life changes they made to it were really, really smart for both the worldwide audience and the console audience and the PC audience.
Yeah, I'm a very long time Monster Hunter fan. I've actually been playing literally since the original game on PlayStation 2. And I mean, so I've been through the jank. I cannot go back. Generations Ultimate hit on Switch. I can't play it. I can't. I don't care how much content is in that game. It is significantly less enjoyable for me to play than World, with everything World has done to move the series forward.
You're not the only person I've heard say that either.
Yeah,
and like
you can't do
also, and also like, you know, service games have been very popular. There's a lot of very grind that are getting really popular. Like these were some things that, you know, scared people away, and Capcom had the perfect approach for how they went with World, and it sounds like Iceborne as well, is that they smartly didn't get rid of those things that keep people playing Monster Hunter for a long time, while addressing the things that make it very inaccessible.
Yes.
Which is like, they executed what they needed to do with Monster Hunter World perfectly.
So we've got Derek. Derek, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say two things. So first, Waypoint Set in chat. Yes, I do think the game is worth playing solo. Like I played it mostly solo. You know, I did some multiplayer, but ultimately, like the added story elements to the game don't tremendously change the structure of playing it from previous Monster Hunter games, but they add a little bit more context in the moment, which can make it much more enjoyable to get in and play without playing directly with friends. And having stuff like the SOS flare, which is you can set off basically a flare in the middle of a fight if you're connected to the internet, and have 3 Japanese players jump in and kick the shit out of a monster with you. Like if you're having trouble, then you don't need to go, oh, I need to come at this quest again and I got to go online. Like just fire off a flare, and there are people waiting, good fucking players waiting to jump in and back you up. Like the game has a contingent of Sunbros.
God. It's really satisfying when you send one of those flares up, and then either
and
one
3
of your
dudes with just kanji names just jump in and just kick the shit out of it until it's dead. This is kicking, apparently.
No, I played through a lot of the game like that, and it's very fun. Like it feels like you got real backup coming in, which is cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that element of it, and that's a really smart feature, I think, for people. For people that are trying to play Monster Hunter.
Yeah. The other thing the last thing I'll say is that for people who are maybe curious about whether or not now is the time to jump into Monster Hunter, especially since we're talking about, like, I spent 80 hours going through the story of Monster Hunter World before extra DLC content dropped, not doing any of the post-game grinding. So you're talking about 80 hours to get to the point, for me, where I could have moved on to Iceborne had it been available. And this is about as long as that again. So it's a lot of game, and people may be questioning if this is the right time to jump into it. I think it's going to be a while before the next true new Monster Hunter game. I think we'll see maybe some spin-offs, and I don't mean like generation style, like different Monster Hunters. I think we'll see spin-offs like that Monster Hunter Stories, you know, maybe, but I don't think we're going to see a new Monster Hunter for a little bit. And if you pick up Iceborne, yeah, this like Iceborne's going to sell and keep people busy for a while. But if you pick up Iceborne, there is a free armor set and and like an item pack that you get right at the beginning of the game that you can basically, the item pack will help you with cutting out a lot of the grind for crafting in the early part of the game. And the armor is good enough to wear all the way through the base story.
That's awesome.
That's
so
cool.
If you're getting in and you don't want, like if you want, you don't have to wear that armor. You can do the traditional experience of crafting and mixing sets. But like this Guardian armor set is like, hey, do you want to take half of the grind out right now and not have to worry about armor at all? Cool. Here's some like broken, overpowered armor for low rank to carry you through. It'll work fine in high rank, you know, and then you'll get to master rank and be ready. So I do think
that's a really smart addition.
If you're curious, like the base game has gotten even easier to get into, you know, and you'll probably not spend 80 hours like I did getting past the final boss of the main story and getting to Iceborne. You'll probably get there relatively quickly by comparison. So it's good. We're going to be hearing a lot about Iceborne. We're going to be hearing a lot about Monster Hunter in the future. I mean, this is, Capcom's biggest game ever. It is massively expanded. It's not going to slow down. This franchise is going to be everywhere in every form. soon enough. So be ready for that.
Cool, dude. That's a fantastic breakdown of Iceborne, man. Thank you for that. We want to answer some questions here. We got some good questions that got sent to us. And I really love this one because it's not a question that I have seen our audience ask. This is from Waypoint actually. What's the story of SDGC? How did you all meet and decide to start your own outlet? It's Brandon. Brandon is a founding.
Me and John are the only ones that are still here.
Yeah. Like the podcast started with me and Brandon and Steve and Brian and Brandon and I stand alone now. We're like the two founding members. Brandon, I just approached you one day on Twitter and I was like, dude, let's do a video game. Yeah. We met on GAF and I was like, let's do a video game podcast. And Brandon was like, fine. I don't have any better to do. Let's do it.
It's always something I kind of want to do. So I jumped right into it. Yeah,
and that was dude, it's been 4 years.
It was 2015. It was summer 2015. Yeah.
4 fucking years.
4 years now.
4 years of doing this shit, man. And then we'll just go over the people who are here. Justin was watching us. Justin was a fan of the podcast. And then he Jeff asked you to be on Pause for Popcorn, right, Justin?
Yes.
Like as a guest.
He asked me to be his co-host. For that show. And we did a couple of episodes of that, and then I remember the distinct Twitter exchange between you and me because you're like, "Hey, are you a part of SDGC now?" I'm like, "Am I?" Like, I'm pretty sure that's up to you. And then you just added me to the official DM stuff, and so I've been. And then it was a few months before I could actually be on the show regularly due to my work schedule. But yeah, and then basically since E3 last year, I've been regularly on the show.
Hey, I want to point something out in chat. No, Gaff, not Gab. Jesus Christ.
Nowadays they're not too dissimilar.
Right.
Yeah,
back in the day before things completely fell to shit.
Gaff.
Hold on. What is Gab?
Gab is social network for people who
are alt-right shitheads.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
It's like alt-right Twitter.
I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of it.
You are better off.
There's a good reason for it.
You're much better off. No, Gaff with an F. Gaff. Yeah, it was a much different place.
A website nobody needs to care about anymore.
Yeah, don't go there anymore.
Don't go to Gaff.
It still exists, but it's dead.
Yeah, but so Real Shane J in chat actually says, "I love the show and it's inspired me to get my own content off the ground." That's awesome. I love hearing that. That's fantastic.
You got to do it. Really... You got to just be brave and do it.
Just fucking do it.
Because that's kind of like my story, right? Is for the longest time, I used to work at Nintendo, and my background for ages has been in content production and production, audio engineering and mixing, stuff like that. And I just sat around forever, not doing anything, thinking I can't make videos, I can't stream, I can't do podcasts, I can't do any of it because it'll never be good enough to be up to the standards that I would want as a viewer. And then John reached out to me and was just like, "Hey, you want to be on the show? Because you're all right, and we need new people." And I was like,
Derek came highly recommended.
Yeah, and I was like, I've been interacting with y'all on Twitter for the past couple years since I actually showed up on the internet at large. But still, the funny thing is, once I started doing it because it was somebody else's show and I was just a part of it, suddenly I'm producing and editing. Suddenly I'm out there. I'm streaming more on my own. It's ultimately, I was stopping myself from trying anything because I feared failure that would not hurt me. So if you want to try your hand at content production, just do it. You're not. Nothing bad's gonna happen,
although don't take that one streamer's advice that posted
yesterday. Don't sell your bed and sleep on an air mattress.
Don't
use cheap equipment. Use cheap equipment and take the time to learn. We'll do a video or a chat sometime on how this stuff works, but you would be better served using cheap equipment that you know how to work with than buying expensive equipment. If you gave me a $40 Logitech headset, I could make that headset sound better for a stream and more professional, that cheap microphone, than this Yeti would sound in the hands of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. It's simple.
Yeah, we have a pretty basic setup.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy. Although I will say that the UI, for lack of a better term, the podcast is getting an overhaul here soon. We're going to keep the base colors, but things are going to look a little fancier. Trying to improve the production value even more. But look, I want to echo what everybody else has said. You know, like Brandon and I started this podcast because we just wanted to talk about video games. We didn't have any goals. We didn't think. I mean, Brandon, I'm sure would agree. We certainly didn't think, hey, we're going to be at PAX's one day.
Oh yeah, no, there was no. I mean, when we even had like guests that wanted to be on a show, like that was crazy.
That was weird, right?
Yeah.
Like when we had our first industry guest on, that was nuts, right? It's like, okay, oh, that's wild. And now, like 4 years later,
like I thought you were joking when you said like, oh, hey, I asked this guy if to be on. He said yes. I thought you were joking. I was like, well, why would anybody want to be a guest? This fight?
But yeah, and that's the thing though, Brandon, is that like if you just approach, like, you're not going to know unless you ask. You know, and you're just not. And you know, we took this little thing from, you know, this rinky little Google Hangouts 3-hour chat bullshit we used to do on Saturdays, Brandon, and now we had some long.
There was like Saturday morning, right? For like
it was Saturday
hours.
nights. Saturday nights we did that.
Wasn't
shit.
it earlier? And like we're a lot later now than we used to be.
Yeah, no, we did. We started at like
4 p.m. or something.
Or was it 4 p.m.?
It was earlier on like Saturdays,
right? And we had like 1 or 2 people watching us. And now, yeah, hey, look, guys, we're in kind of funny's orbit, you know. So you never know what's going to happen. So if you want to create content, go do it. Just fucking try it. And if you need somebody to give you a boost, like ask any of us. We'll come on. You know, like we'll fucking come on your podcast. We'll hang out. We'll chill. Like, just all you gotta do is ask.
Yeah, I did Trophy Room with Bad Bit Games a little while back. You know, who's a smaller content creator who, you know, just wanted a queer person on during Pride Month to talk video games. And I was like, yeah, dude, you're in our orbit and you're a good dude and your show's good. I'll come on and talk about some video games. Like, you know, it's funny because like you see people in chat and like a lot of them probably look at us as if we're like a big deal and like we're not. We're like the top of a very small like pond.
Guys, with me, I literally was watching the show and like my big hope was, you know, maybe one day they would ask me to be on as a guest or something. And then I just ended up actually becoming a cast member and everything.
Like, it still kind of blows my mind whenever we get invited to play. People want to come on.
We've had a big revolving door of cast members for the years. But we've always kept it fresh.
We've stabilized it now. We're stable. We're stable now
for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the SDGC story, and we're gonna have another really cool year next year, and we'll be back at PAX East and doing our thing, and it's fucking great. We have a great time doing it. We have another question, and I like this one. This is from Tierlock87 on Twitter. Has anything from Tokyo Game Show snuck up on you yet? If not, anything to be showcased y'all are looking forward to? I can tell you. I want to be
surprised.
I want to be like, I can tell you what I want to see. By the way, real Shane J in chat. PAX East is in late March, early April. But I can tell you what I'd like to see, and I'm almost certain I'm not going to get it. Bye, Julian. Is I want to see a Square Enix collection of Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, which I'm certain I'm not going to get. But that would kind of be like the dream Tokyo Game Show announcement for me. I don't know about you guys, Derek.
I mean, look, I want to know what Capcom's up to other than Project Resistance, which looks interesting enough, but is clearly not meant to be like a big AAA project for them. We're in a weird period of radio silence from Capcom. Like in the last couple years, we've gotten Resident Evil 7, the 2 remake, Devil May Cry 5, Monster Hunter World, and Iceborne. Like big work on Street Fighter 5. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was kind of a flop, but there's some weird circumstances behind that. But like Capcom's been on a big roll, and we know next to nothing We know nothing other than Project Resistance coming forward. So
I think Capcom might have gotten to the point where they needed a little bit of a break after all of their studios put out really big, high-quality projects.
I think we were thinking that this was their momentum going forward, and it might just be that everything kind of lined up real nicely. But I'm really hoping that there's at least one thing big next year.
I feel like Capcom will probably have a big presence at one of the next-gen console reveals or something. Because I feel like something like Resident Evil 8...
Deep down gonna be real?
Something like Resident Evil 8 or like a Dragon's Dogma 2 or something would be like a really cool next-gen...
I'd love that. I feel like Project Resistance, which we haven't even talked about, like I feel like Project Resistance can't be it, right? Like,
oh no, I mean we already know they have 8 and 3 remake in development.
And 3 remake in the, but
plus Itsuno's got to be on Dragon's Dogma 2 by now. I mean
Itsuno even just recently said Dragon's Dogma is an important series, but I can't say any more right now. Like,
well, we also already knew that he was greenlit for Dragon's Dogma 2, and he chose Devil May Cry 5 instead.
He has as much as said there's a Dragon's Dogma 2 coming without actually saying those exact words.
Sorry, I was typing something in chat. Brandon, is there anything at Tokyo Game Show that you've seen that either catches your eye or
who gives a shit? Like they put out the FF7 remake trailer like to start. I mean, there is stuff like when am I going to see Ghostwire Tokyo gameplay? Especially now that
it's done. Something's wrong with that game. It's done.
Yeah, exactly. Like the conceptual trailer looks so cool at E3, and then now we hear the creative director leaves. So, like, yeah, I'm interested to see gameplay of that whenever it does get revealed eventually.
We gotta grab another question here.
Yeah, I don't know, like what is that TGS right now? Like
TGS this year was more just a lot of information on stuff we already knew about, not much new announcements.
But I mean, like it really starts this weekend though, right? Like,
it hasn't started yet.
I mean, the announcement period was basically like Monday, Tuesday. That's when all the announcements. Yeah. All the announcement stuff is like Monday, Tuesday, and then the next few days is when it's like open for people to check out the show floor and everything.
Oh, okay.
Totally.
Boo.
So, yeah, like there wasn't much new. We got new information on Yakuza 7.
That game looks fucking insane, like in a good way. Like I can't wait for. I'm not a Yakuza guy, but dude, I'm like
should be.
Goofy ass turn-based combat, I'm fucking in.
You need to play Yakuza 0, dude. You'd be into it, but
dude, I'm so burned out on open world games, though.
It's really not open world. It's really not.
It's like a town.
It's like a very tight area. It's not open world.
Very, very tight.
It's like 6 square blocks. You know what I mean? Like it's really not.
Now everybody in chat is like begging me to play Yakuza.
You need to play Yakuza 0.
It's not an open world game. It's an RPG. It's
Yakuza 0 is excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent game.
It's a beat 'em up RPG.
I would love to play Yakuza 0,
not a
but
Western open world game.
But here's the thing. I've got a billion Super Nintendo games to play on my Switch now. I've got to finish up my Blue Lions run on Fire Emblem.
Okay, that's important.
Fucking Link's Awakening coming out next Friday, which I'm literally going to play through 3 times in a row. It's my favorite Zelda game.
Need to take your Switch away.
Yeah, you need to play Yakuza. Dude, if you play Yakuza 0, you will be blowing up our chat nonstop about how much you love it, and you'll be addicted to it.
Fucking Goose Game. Goose Game.
And Sayonara Wild Hearts is also next week.
That game looks fucking dope. Like, dude, look, you can see him back there. My poor PS4 just sitting lonely. And the only thing I use my PS4 for now is Final Fantasy 14. That's it. That's the only reason I turn on my PS4. It's all Switch all the time. All the time. But I will get to Yakuza eventually. I'm going to grab my little cactuar here because he's soft and comfy and he comforts me.
Little cactuar cube.
We've got another this thing is so fucking soft. Don in chat says Sayonara Wild Hearts, Overland, and Untitled Goose Game are September 19th. Holy Trinity.
Overland's another good call out. Yeah.
Yeah, Overland looks cool. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a game I have been super excited for. I played it at PAX East. Do you guys remember there? Like, I just kind of was walking around the show floor, saw it, played it, absolutely loved it.
Dude, you lit up. It was the most wholesome thing.
I remember they were like really skeptical because I am very much not the audience for that game, and I just had this huge smile on my face while playing it. It was so cool.
Like literally, just everything else right now is noise because of Awakening. That's my number one most anticipated game this year. I'm so fucking excited.
It is the best Zelda game.
Glorious War in chat wants to know any thoughts on Apple Arcade. Yeah, I'm really frustrated that there's an RPG by the developers of Bravely Default and Octopath Traveler exclusive to it. That's really frustrating for me because I have no intention of doing anything with Apple Arcade. So and plus it's got one of those crazy names. Like what was the name? Like what was the name of that fucking game again?
Was Octopath Traveler?
No, not Octopath. No, but it was even weirder.
Like
Daylight, like everyday life or something like that.
1 second,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, it was
pull
a
it
weird
up.
name. Now I remember it.
Please pull it up because that name was fucking bonkers.
Was it more bonkers
Various
than
Day Life? Various Day Life.
Sure. Their previous game was Octopath Traveler. Before that, it was Bravely Default. Like these dudes make titles by throwing darts at a dictionary. Like
Brandon, I want you to say that again because you're 100% correct.
Yeah, no, at least Octopath Traveler makes more sense than Bravely Default.
It literally does.
Yeah. Because it like it fits the story.
Fucking paths.
It's 8 people traveling a path. Yeah.
Yes, Blaine in chat. Yes, Octopath was made by the people behind Bravely Default. Yes.
Like I think they explained what Bravely Default means if you play the game.
Well, because Brave is a mechanic and
like
Default is a mechanic. But they're opposite mechanics, so the title doesn't even work. Like
I just want Bravely Third or Octopath Traveler 2. Like that. Those were two other things actually that I was hoping for.
I'll also take a Bravely duology on Switch, but
I would love that too. Like anything Bravely Default related, or
I just need more Adia and Ring a Bell.
What are you gonna do? We'll do one more question. This is a good one from at tpaz117 on Twitter. I've been playing Gears 5, and one of the things your pet robot can do is fly out and get weapons and ammo for you if you have a line of sight, even in combat. What other feature in a game has given you the "why isn't this in every game" reaction? Off the top of my head, right now, the Nemesis system in the Mordor games. Like, say what you want about what they do with the lore. Although, like, the lore in the Peter Jackson movies was just as convoluted, but the Nemesis system was the reason to play those games. And especially in the first game where it was new, nobody had ever seen anything like it before. Like, the Nemesis system is fucking crazy, and I can't believe that it has not popped up in other games since, because it essentially what it did, if you haven't played it, it created, yes, absolutely, yes, in chat, it needed to be in the Mad Max game. And the Nemesis system really allowed you to create your own villains and antagonists that would like hound you throughout the story. Like I had this orc that killed me in the beginning of the game, and he leveled up in rank, and I came back and I killed him. Right, I stuck a sword through his or shot him in the eye with an arrow actually. And like an hour later, he comes back with like a metal eye patch on, and now he's got one eye attached to his name. And he's like, "Oi, I'm back, and I'm ready for more." They have those Cockney accents. And I defeated him again. I kicked him off a cliff, and he comes back, and he literally became my recurring antagonist throughout the entire game. And I'd never seen anything like it. And he would remember our last encounters, like, "Oi, you're not going to get to drop on me this time," and it was so fucking cool. And I can't believe that more developers haven't implemented something like that. I love it. Sam in chat says the first time an orc came back to life, all scarred and burnt, and ambushed him was still one of his favorite moments this entire generation. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, it was really cool. And like that was kind of one of those moments, because like, I mean, that game has a last gen version, but it was real bad.
It was not good.
Really?
Yeah, it was real bad.
It really did.
Look it up, Derek. It barely is functional.
It tore frames like crazy. It ran at about 20 frames per second, and it didn't have the Nemesis system.
Yeah, that's right. It didn't have the Nemesis system.
No,
it had the Nemesis system, but it was like severely cut down.
It might as well have not have been there.
To the point where it basically wasn't.
It looked horrible. It ran at 10 FPS.
It looked like a game from like 2007 or something.
Which is fucking wild, Brandon, because like Shadow of Mordor was a gorgeous fucking game.
Yeah, for 2014 it was a good looking game. So like the orc model.
Yeah, so like the Nemesis system was one of those, this is next gen kind of moments for me.
Right.
And it's really surprising that we haven't seen much more of that, except in their sequel.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's the last. I can't think of another game that has utilized something similar. I can't imagine what that would have done for Red Dead Redemption 2. Like a game that, in my opinion, didn't do much to set itself apart from its predecessor. But imagine something like the Nemesis system being present in Red Dead Redemption 2 would have changed the entire fucking game.
I don't know if it
bounty
would have
hunters
worked with
remembering you and just
with just the level of realism in Red Dead. I don't know if it worked. Like, it's perfect for something like Lord of the Rings with orcs, I think.
No, but
it has to be something kind of like superhero-y or
I'm not sure I agree,
sci-fi
though,
or
Justin.
fantasies kind of out there. Like,
and a superhero game though, I
a superhero game would be awesome, right?
Yeah,
like you would
got like a recurring
kind of,
supervillain. Yeah,
yeah.
That would be fucking cool. Derek, what about you, man? You got a game mechanic that you pop up in more games?
I'm gonna give this. We're gonna go back to Monster Hunter since it's on my mind, but Monster Hunter World gives you in something that I do not see frequently enough is the big crafting tree, right? You can wish list items, and then when you come across the materials for that, it reminds you that you picked up materials, how many total that you have within your inventory and storage, and how many you need. So if I'm like carving up a Rathalos or something and I need a Rathalos plate and I pick one up, it'll pop up and ding, you needed this for this weapon, and now you need one more, or you have enough and now you have all the parts you need for this thing. You'll be ready to craft it when you get back to the blacksmith. And in games that are very crafting heavy, which is like a thing that's fairly common and is getting shoehorned into a lot of games nowadays, that's really nice to see. Also for Monster Hunter, they have an in-game wiki, which doesn't sound great, but how many games with a bunch of different damage types and really detailed enemies where certain parts of their bodies takes certain kinds of damage, and there's detailed battle tactics. Can you open up a book and just go, okay, this thing, weakest to fire on its head, tail is severable, all in one graphic for you. What are you cracking up for?
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the pictures of Contra Hardcore that Justin said.
Oh,
the rogue core pictures.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
It's
I need
Derek.
to see these.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Are they in the group chat?
Oh no.
Are they in this group chat here?
Yes.
Let me
No, it's in the DM.
Oh,
Brandon.
okay.
Here,
Oh, no.
I will post them in.
Put them in the chat.
I'll
Put
put
them
them
in
in
the chat. That first one. That first one.
It's
His face.
It's 240 by 120 resolution.
Oh my god.
I believe those are Switch handheld.
I don't care if it's Switch. It looks worse than a mobile game from 10 years
no,
ago.
I mean, no, not that it's good, but just
Oh
for
my
Put it in
clarity's
chat.
sake.
Put it in chat, folks. I gotta see it. I gotta see the bad.
That one with the tank. I mean, look at that tank.
Look at the ground.
And the ground.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
even
just
text is blurry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's a bad looking game.
This is the
this is
worst
bad.
video game I've ever seen.
This is bad.
It's
This is
that
the
dude,
this
the
is
dude
it.
with the
This is-
cigar. What is going
Oh
on?
no.
So Derek, for everybody in chat, go back to the one with the cigar. Go back to the one with the cigar.
Nothing about
There's
this
your
is
new
good.
meme.
Also, the worst cigar I think I've ever seen.
There is your new meme. There's your new reaction meme right there. Whenever you see something wild on the internet, there it is.
Shout out to Cartridge Games for posting those but oh my god. Wow. Here, you need to go?
Oh my god, I can't take my eyes off of it. Dude, the cigar is like clipping through his mouth.
Yeah, it totally clips through his mouth.
Oh my god, Derek, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
It comes to a point.
Help it.
It doesn't. Nothing matters. Nothing I have to say matters after that. Life.
Wow.
Do we live just to suffer, John?
How does this exist? What the fuck?
Because Konami willed it into existence.
Oh my god, that is
So that's the official Konami seal of quality.
Don in chat says, I remember my Gamescom presentation for the first 10 minutes. They spoke on an esports mode and then the season pass for Contra. The season pass.
I'm
for
sorry,
Contra.
esports? Esports?
What?
No. I need to know more. This has a season pass?
A season
No,
pass?
no. That doesn't surprise me. Of course Konami has a season pass.
But for this?
For this?
For esports? Esports, they're trying to plan actual
Contra
esports events for a Contra game. Which one that doesn't even work, but also for this Contra game?
Wow. This is so I guarantee you this is going to be this generation's Ride to Hell Redemption. That's what this is. Don says yes, they are actively pushing an esports mode and a $25 season pass. A $25 season pass for that.
Remember when Super Bomberman R came out and we were like, maybe Konami's going to be okay?
$25 for that.
Because I remember that.
The season pass is just going to be the rest of the graphics. Oh my God.
Is this going to be like the Devil's Third all over again?
I never played that and I really want to.
No, you don't.
Just to see. I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
That game was so bad, Nintendo didn't even give us a copy.
Hold on, can I do the mechanic?
Yeah, please go ahead, Justin.
So Derek's kind of reminded me. There's a similar kind of thing in Horizon Zero Dawn, where like, if you need the components for something, you can just I think you just click one of the control sticks or something, and it auto generates a quest. It will show you where the nearest place where you can get that item is. And it will set it up as a waypoint on your map, and then it will track how many you have, which is really, really, really satisfying. Sometimes it's like, oh, I think it's going to be way on the other side of the map. There's a place that's actually close by. You can grab it, and then, get the item that you need. And it's really, really handy. It saves a lot of time.
I'm sorry. I can't stop looking at the Contra picture. I can't stop. Somebody needs to fucking help me. Send help quickly. Oh my God.
John, nobody can help.
I'm sorry. Justin, I'm sorry, man. I wasn't trying to downplay what you're in action. And you have to like slow your car down and look at it.
Yeah, you're cutting out. I can't hear you.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's better, yeah.
Is that better?
But yes, Contra Rogue Core does not look good.
Hey, listen up. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
And everybody, I just want to point out that when you ask for Konami to make games again, this is what you get.
Yeah, I know. This is the monkey's paw right here. That's what it is.
Maybe let's stop pestering them to bring back Silent Hill or something.
Pretty much, yeah, basically.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I don't think my heart can take it.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, dude. Like, I can't have this happen to Silent Hill. Like, something I really love. But we do need to start wrapping up here. So pretty cool announcement. In case you are not aware, not only are we doing Extra Life again this year, but with a twist. So, Derek, do you want to explain to everybody in chat our really cool Extra Life plans this year?
Oh, yes. So I'm physically traveling to, I'm driving 9 hours to go to John's house. We're going to do Extra Life. We're going to do a 24-hour live stream together, physically together in the same room.
On the couch, like all snuggled up next to each other.
We're going to cozy this shit up. We are going to play Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, which is a lot of words to say the PC remaster of the PSP remake of the first Hyperdimension Neptunia.
I'm really
game.
worried. I don't even know what the hell this is, and I'm
don't look it up. John,
look at the people in chat. Derek, what is this fucking game?
Yeah. John doesn't know what Hyperdimension Neptunia is. John has never even watched an anime before. He does not have any immune system for what he's gonna get hit with. I'm a weeb. I'm weeb trash. I made it 2 hours into Neptunia and gave up. I could not
have. I made a terrible fucking mistake. What the fuck? You know what, dude? You're uninvited. I don't know if I can do. I don't know if I can do that.
Here's the thing.
Look at the fucking reaction in chat. Look at the reaction in chat, Derek.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? Here's what we'll do, John. Friday.
What the fuck have you done?
Help you on Friday. We're gonna watch Princess Mononoke. You've never seen anime,
Okay,
and we're gonna
good.
watch
That's
one of the
safe.
best anime films of all time, which you will fucking love dearly. You will stand this movie. I'm gonna build up anime in your mind, and then
you're
next
gonna fucking bring
day
it crashing
we're
down.
going to play Hyperdimension
That's what you're
Neptunia.
gonna do. You're gonna fucking ruin it. You're gonna fucking. You're gonna destroy it for me.
If I watch JoJo with John, he might enjoy it. That's
People
not really
in chat,
fair.
our friends in chat. What the fuck is this game?
Don't tell him.
What is this?
Don't tell him.
What is this? No, there is a reason that people reacted like that.
Yes.
In chat.
Yes.
What
John, Vicky's gonna judge the shit out of us.
John,
your child would.
John,
your child would.
And you love JRPG.
Yeah, it's a JRPG. It's an action JRPG. If your son saw you playing this game, he would not respect you for the rest of your life. And if you saw him playing it, you wouldn't respect him either.
I want to make it clear. I want to make it very clear to everybody in chat that this is not the only game we're playing.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's roughly a 24-hour game. We could conceivably burn through the whole game in one 24-hour charity stream.
We are not.
Oh, yes, we
Blaine
are,
says
my
if
friend.
John's son saw him playing Neptunia, John might get sent to jail. What the
no,
fuck?
it's not. It's not that bad. It's not
that.
There's nothing inappropriate. It's just bad and cringy and shitty.
You know what? If it earns, you know what? If it helps,
We're doing it for the kids, children. John. For the children.
I gotta
suffer
do it.
For the children.
I guess I gotta do it. Although I
suffer for them.
I need to make it clear this is not the only game we're gonna play. Our goal is to play bad games and kind of just.
But I don't know that we're gonna get.
I think you've already.
We found the one.
Oh no! No! We're gonna Derek. I've got some fucking stinkers lined up on PC, my man. I got some
good shit, my dude.
But here's the thing. So what we're gonna do is
chat reaction.
We're gonna sit on the couch. We're gonna sit on the couch. We're gonna stream games for 24 hours. Derek, are we getting hammered?
I'll bring some bourbon.
I think we're getting fucking.
I come from where the bourbon comes from, so I can bring that.
We're getting hammered, and who knows? We might even have a special guest show up for an hour or two. Who knows? I guess you'll have to tune in and find out. But anyway, this has been. Does anybody have anything else? Anybody? Going once, going twice? Nobody wants to say anything? That's it.
I think we're good.
That's okay. We're good. So,
John, you're not going to respect me for making you play this game.
I already don't respect you for I already don't. Since your special guest, the police, for playing Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Oh my god! Oh, I laughed so hard I vomited a little bit and it went into my nose. Woo!
Oh, we always have a good time here on Thursday night. It's not always poetry. We don't always agree. But we always keep it real.
I'm gonna have to get one of those saline scooshy bottles and clear my nostrils out.
Get us the fuck off the air, Derek. Jesus.
Oh.
End it. End it.